Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sam Norris here, the property investors broker and owner of Grand Union Finance. Today, I'm going to be talking about something pretty boring, but I think it's really relevant to every single property investor out there, and that is what documents do you need when you are applying for a mortgage for the first time. So stick around and I'm going to go through absolutely everything you need to know. Hey guys, welcome back to the video. Today, talking all about all the documents that you need when applying for a mortgage. Before I go into the itemizer list of what we're going to need and giving you a bit of a description, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already and the like button, because it tells YouTube that people are liking the video and it will show it to more people, which is ultimately what I want. So let's talk documents then. So when we're applying for a mortgage, what we do is before we even apply, we want to get together a list of documentation that we know that the underwriters at the mortgage lenders are going to need when they are underwriting your case. So let's go through those one by one so that you know exactly what you need before you start applying. So number one then is identification. Now this is actually split into two sections. ID in terms of who you are and ID in terms of where you live, your proof of address. So talking about your ID first in terms of your identification, we need to supply the lender with either your passport photo or your photo driver's license. Don't forget the driver's license needs to be in date and have your residential address on there as well, your current residential address. When it comes to proof of address, we can also use that driver's license if we're not using it for the ID, but realistically, we want a latest council tax bill showing your full address and full name, or a utilities bill that's dated within the last 3 months, again, with the full address and your full name on it. We can't accept broadband bills, and we can't accept mobile phone bills. Not my rules, that's just the way that it is. So that's what we need for ID. Next, income. Most lenders are going to want to see some income from you. So if you're employed, we need to show them the last 3 or the latest 3 pay slips. If you get a bonus, let's just chuck in that P60 as well so we can see what the bonus is for the last year. And we also need to back that up with 3 months latest bank statements that correspond to the pay slips showing that income going into your account. So that's what we need if you're employed. If you're self-employed, we need the last 2 years at least personal tax returns, as well as the corresponding tax overview. So that's your tax calculation, as well as the corresponding tax overviews. Used to be called SA 302, now called tax overviews. We also need those last 3 months worth of bank statements as well, so the lender can get an understanding of the kind of income that's going into your bank account on a month-to-month basis. And that's what we need to prove your income. Now, next on the list, if you're purchasing a property, we obviously need to prove that you have the money to actually purchase the property, i.e. the deposit. Usually we'll do this by way of a savings account statement, but if you're selling a property, what we can use is a letter from the solicitor to give details of the property you're selling and information surrounding that and how much is going to be released and when, so that we know that that money is going to be available for your deposit. Now, we also need your credit file. Now, you might be thinking this is a bit of an odd one, but actually we need to get an understanding of what your credit file looks like, if there's any problems. Now, we understand that you might not be the most credit file savvy person around. It takes a little bit of understanding as to what's going on in that credit file to really truly know what's going to cause a problem and what won't. So I've seen 1,000,001 credit files. We always ask our clients for credit files so that we can check those. Some lenders actually ask us to send those credit files to them again, especially those that do manual underwriting and don't use a online decision in principle system. So that's another thing that we need to have ready, is the credit file. Now, if you're a portfolio landlord or an existing landlord, we also need to supply some other documentation to the lender. So first and foremost, we will need to supply a portfolio spreadsheet, a list of all the properties that you own, who owns them, because it might be a company, it might be personal ownership, you might be 50-50 with somebody else, as well as details of the value, loan outstanding, rental income, etc. We need that broad overview. We will also need your most recent bank statement showing the rental income coming in, as well as the mortgage payments going out. So it's kind of like a proof of what is actually on that portfolio spreadsheet. So that's basically it. That's everything that we're going to need. So a quick recap then. ID, we need photo ID to show who you are, passport, driver's license. We need proof of address. We need a utilities bill or a council tax bill to prove that you live where you say you live. Income, we need to show if you're employed, your last 3 months bank statements, as well as your last 3 pay slips, and your P60 if we're using bonus as part of our income verification. Self-employed, last 2 years at least, tax calculations and corresponding overviews, as well as those last 3 months bank statements as well. If we are a portfolio landlord, or if we already have property, we need to show a portfolio spreadsheet, and we also need to show a bank statement, latest bank statement I should say, to show income and expenditure, i.e. rental coming in and mortgage payments going out. We also need proof of your deposit, and also we have to have a copy of your latest credit file. So a quick video today. Hopefully that was really helpful for you all. If you haven't subscribed already, as I said, please do so. And if you have any comments or you think I've left anything out, please chuck them in the comments below and I will come back to each and every one of you, I promise. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.